down from my altar, please. Get down from the altar. Thank you. What do you think? Okay. I guess we can get started now. There's this vacuum in the way. Like, I kind of feel bad. Hold on. You know what I just thought about? I threw away my stools. And I'm gonna definitely have to buy some more. Anyway. Hi guys, welcome back to Ani's World. It has been a while. It has been a little minute. Hi. Since we have all been here. Today we're talking about keep going, stay motivated, keeping that momentum. I'm gonna have to find a better angle because I cannot stand up. Okay. So today we're talking about staying motivated and keeping your momentum. Just keep going, you know what I mean? And I took a little bit of a break, and I also deleted my other YouTube videos because I felt as though they were, too much about me. And I want to make it clear that, this YouTube channel is for the knowledge I have to share. It's not like Ani's World is not necessarily it's not dedicated all about every little piece of me. It's about the message and the knowledge that I have to share. So that's why I'm coming up on here today, because we have these couple of months on this channel talked about so many things. Hi, thank you. We have talked about so many things. We have done like so much on this channel together, and I just wanted to elaborate on everything that we spoke about, especially with everything right now that's going on in the media. I feel as though it is very spiritually connected to the energy right now. So let's get into it. Thank you. So, I don't know why my mind is kind of going a little bit blank. Okay, yes. So, from the time that I have been off, it's because I have moved into a brand new apartment. And I have I live on a completely different side of town now. So it's been a time that I think winter is always for me to kind of rest, relax, enjoy my time. If you're familiar on this channel, we kind of did this last winter, where these are kind of how my videos were going during the winter time. So all of this is seasonal. Definitely go along with the seasonal changes. Winter, things might slow down or even die down. So in wintertime, I feel like is the time where you see the most jobs being lost, issues happening, just periods that kind of force you into a rest moment. Like, for example, winter is when there's a lot of ice and stuff on the road, so people can get hurt. They might have to relax for a while, you know what I mean? I feel like winter is key to hibernation, you know what I'm saying? So we are in this hibernating period, which is amazing for us, because then we know that spring, once that hibernation period is over, it's going to be spring, and it's time to keep go. I mean, we're never stopping, but it's a blooming season. So we go from death to blooming, which is a beautiful change. And I've learned to accept these dynamics and changes as my life has gone on. Hi, baby. Because the same things happen repeatedly. So, anyway. So, that's just kind of where I have learned and grown to accept the season and accept the change and accept the next phase of life. So right now is the perfect time to be researching, pouring into yourself, even maybe preparing for something that you want to bloom. um it's just a perfect time to do all these things during the winter. It's such a beautiful rest moment. You have the holidays, so definitely use it to your advantage to soak up a lot of love, a lot of, just higher vibrations, you know and yeah, I feel amazing. I have I always take a time to rest when I don't feel like if I need to rest, I'm not gonna come up here and tell you guys to keep going, because in that moment I'm resting. You know what I'm saying? And that's the advice that I'm also giving other people. I don't come up here if I am just, if I don't have much to say or the proper energy to offer, you won't see me. And right now, I have a lot to say and I have a lot of the proper energy to offer. And I wanted to get into that as we in the comments call me a hypocrite. So, as we all know, the new documentary for Diddy has came out. And in this, a lot of stuff between Tupac and Biggie was revealed. Give me 2 seconds so I can make sure my house is not being destroyed. Son, son, get from over there. Let's go. Please. Come on. Come on. Okay. Let's take this out your mouth. Come on. Let's unwrap it. Let's unwrap it. Here. Okay, come on. Go in your room. Or in my room. I don't care. So, in this case, what was revealed basically, a moral of the story of 50 Cent really coming out with this documentary was expose a huge thing that happened in music history and hip hop history, in the industry, which shifted the entire trajectory of, I feel, hip hop, losing Tupac and Biggie, and Diddy doing it. Now, if you pay attention, Tupac was more of a poet. He was more of an intellectual. So him and Biggie coming together, Biggie had this hard outside aesthetic. But if you pay attention to the documentary and black men, black straight men coming out and saying that they were assaulted by Diddy, you have to take into factor that they're signing contracts, and this man now controls basically their entire life and everything that they have worked up for till this moment, right? Now factor in again Biggie and Tupac and these two being friends, and how Tupac was this poet who was educated and intellectual, and Biggie was this hardcore rap, you know, gangster. You know what I'm saying? And Tupac's representation of thug life was really a rebellion against the lower vibrational energies. That's what Tupac's thug life thing was a representation of. So him and Biggie being friends. Now, do you understand how interesting this is? These two becoming friends, one from the east side, one from the west side, being able to unite. Because here's the thing, if we pay attention, before Biggie was murdered by allegedly Tupac, allegedly, even though this is exactly what was exposed in the documentary, we see that Biggie was trying to change his contract. Now, let's take into the fact that Biggie is from Brooklyn, grew up a dealer, made his mistakes, and was not a perfect man. But he was trying to become a better man and become a better representation, which is why Biggie changed his contract and why right before, like right after he did that, he passed. So him and Tupac being friends was going to be a very high vibrational thing for the community had it prospered, because we had Tupac, who was this amazing intellectual and poet and was a great representation of everything, and then we had Biggie, who was a a victim of this system and who wanted to change and send out a different message and vibration once he realized how how respected and much of an impact he was to his community. Now, I want to draw this back into when someone called me a hypocrite, right? All of this, we didn't get to see it play out in the physical, and it had to play out in the spiritual, in their spirit, because people were bickering about stupid stuff in between, and these two high vibrational beings who had a high purpose got distracted by that. You know what I'm saying? So because Diddy had this lower vibrational intention and frequency to push out, he was jealous of these two relationships because it was so high vibrational with two raw talented people who could potentially make a huge impact in the community. But because people couldn't, because these two, matter of fact, who were supposed to push out this high frequency got distracted by the BS, caused them not to be able to fulfill their mission in the physical, so it had to be done in the spiritual, which is why we see truth and justice today, along with the fact that this is the age of Aquarius, so you're going to see the truth a lot. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I don't know who's Frank. Oh my gosh, what is happening? Well, thank you for defending me then. But so my whole purpose of this is that I went through this myself, and I'm going to probably continue to go through this because life is so long and so joyful, and it's a movie. You feel me? So, you know, again, two high vibrational beings, and they did still create their impact, which was to piece things together, say their truths, and push out a better frequency. Everybody's truths is already exposed. We know the messed up things that all of these parties have done, but we know who ultimately you know, I don't know how, like, in a more out of this world type of way, had the intentions of raising the vibration of the community, which is essentially why they were both murdered into a sacrifice for this lower frequency. And we see that now in music today. We see that now in men today. And I love the piece that was exposed, how it is exposed in, I feel, the way that they treat women, and the fact that a lot of these men, and we're going specifically Black because that is the representation that they use, Black men were gay. So they were abusing people and abusing themselves, essentially lost everything because they couldn't be themselves. They couldn't be gay. They couldn't respect women. And I think this is something that, you know, it needs to be acknowledged, because we need, this is why like the truth is so important, because, and I was just talking about this with someone, you know, expression and morality are two different things, and I've even learned this myself. You know, I myself am bisexual, and growing up, everyone thought that I was going to be like a dyke, fully gay. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm trying to say is that I'm not someone who's unfamiliar with the LGBTQ community, but I think that, you know, expression and, you know, boundaries and morality needs to be considered when we're expressing our sexuality, because the feminine and masculine energies and representation should never be disrespected because of one's self of expression. You know what I'm saying? The same way, you know, we should focus on, you know, more important things than beef and nitpicking, than the bigger image, which is to raise the frequency. You know what I'm saying? When you look at it like that, it will make you go about things differently, look at things differently. Raising the frequency does not mean perfection, and that is widely misconstrued. Um, Evolving, and I love that saying, evolving is something that never stops. Evolution never stops. So you're never going to stop growing as a person. You're never going to stop making mistakes. Um, Hopefully you never stop learning from them either. You know what I'm saying? So evolution is a part of the process of everything. And lately, I feel as though a lot of the greats have been brought up. A lot of the greats, such as Michael Jackson, Tupac, and Biggie. We have this energy out in the air. We have this truth out in the air now, and we will see how it is affecting our community. You know what I mean? I mean, what did Michael Jackson say? If you can't have a baby, yeah, yeah, then don't feed. No, no. If you can't feed your baby, yeah, yeah, then don't have a baby, yeah, yeah. You know, and we see in our community like it's just so crazy how spiritual and esoteric everything is. How women like Shira, who are upholding Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson's name has been brought up and so out of so many different people's mouths recently. You know what I'm saying? Celebrities have randomly been bringing up Michael Jackson. Now we're gonna have Tupac and Biggie out in the air. You know what I'm saying? So we see, once again, the truth prevails. Every merit counts, and kings never die. You know what I'm saying? And this is why, you know, we uphold ourselves in a righteous way. You know what I'm saying? And again, back to Michael Jackson with his right hand always wearing the glove to represent that righteousness. You know what I'm saying? I was just listening, you know, like to one of his songs called The Lost Children. And, you know, it's just so funny how one of the things that they try to put him down for was child, you know? So, you all I'm trying to say is there's a bigger picture. Nobody is perfect. Everybody makes mistakes, but we have to look at character and merit when it comes to certain things. And even when it comes to someone like Biggie, you know what I'm saying? This is why I say I relate to this type of stuff a lot, where I'm not perfect, but I grow and I evolve and I change my ways. You know what I'm saying? And one interesting thing about Biggie is he was this hardcore gangster, but we don't. And now that we see this documentary, we see that a lot of his creativity was controlled by Diddy, and he was also signed to Diddy. We see him saying that he was afraid for his life. We see this very big black man, which they put the stereotype of. We already know the stereotype of that, who it seems as though was a victim to Diddy. So we can only imagine what his life looked like. Was he perfect? No. But we still, you go, I just, everything is interconnecting, and I love the truth. I love the evolution, because with the truth we get to evolve. When the truth comes out, you can't like ignore things, and we are forced in this world, in this life, to, you know, discover things and still go on with our lives. And, you know, there is yin and yang and balance in everything. I'm a Libra. So we will have people who evolve through this, and we will have people who actually devolve through this process. And we will see there are people who get left behind. I have, you know, left behind many people, and that's why, Papi, no, don't even think about it. Absolutely. What is that in your mouth? What is that? God help me. God help me. Give me 1 second, y'all. Terry. Terry. That is the kitty litter, baby. You can't touch that. Oh my God. Oh my God. I hope there's no poop in your mouth. Oh my God. That should be a crime. Come here. I'm sorry. Oh no. Okay, okay, you'll survive. You'll survive. All right, come here. Come drink some water, please. Here you go. Here you go. No, no more. I'm just gonna put it in my room so I can make sure you don't touch it again. Okay, guys. I'm sorry. I have a toddler now, so my son went from a baby to a toddler. You guys. Hi. Oh my goodness, guys. Why am I over here like looking at my baby's mouth? Because I gave him a candy cane. I'm like, there's no way the candy cane is all over your mouth like that. Y'all, why was the baby playing in the kitty litter? So now the kitty litter is underneath my massage table so I could watch him in the kitty litter. That's literally the only thing in the house that he could get to. And I was not thinking that he was going to do it. Oh my gosh. But anyway, that's kind of funny. There's like the stuff you see in the movies. That's why I'm laughing right now, guys. I'm sorry. Oh Lord, and I got toothpaste on my wrist, y'all. But anyway, I totally lost my train of I cannot right now. Oh my gosh. Okay. So yes, this is just again keep going, and why this is important to this video to me is because the title of my video says keep going. When I think of all these different things, they all combine into one. And like I said, this is like I was just saying before I had to deal with that. The more truth we learn, the more we can keep going and we will evolve or devolve. And the reason why we have to have both evolvers and devolvers, I'm learning even this in life, why there's good and bad, is because there can be no good without bad, the same way there can be no light without dark. You know what I'm saying? So, how would we even know who is good if there was no bad? If there was no bad, there would be no such thing as no good. So, this is why like we will see ignorance and truths. And it's important for us to take in this information for our journey for ourselves and use it as tools. Because I truly believe most things interconnect. Because it's so funny how like before this I even knew about the documentary. The energy was already out in the air. Like the other day I was listening to Changes. I was listening to Keep Your Head Up by Tupac. So, and me coming from, like the East Coast and being raised how I was and in the environments that I was and being raised by who I was raised by, I feel very familiar to the story, that the stories that they share, and the kind of energy and vibes that it is, because it's just like, the early 2000s and the 90s is just such a different, beautiful time. It was not perfect, but it was definitely historical, a beautiful time, because we're talking like straight out the 90s era. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like pretty dope. um how long have I been up here? Oh wow, I did a good job. And without even trying. It's already been 25 minutes. Period. So yes, some things I have been doing as of recently is just honestly enjoying myself. Having gratitude is one thing that you can always use to keep yourself going. Um, I simply wake up thankful, like for my apartment. I had a friend who was talking to me, and she was like, you should be thankful, that your son is like in perfect health. He doesn't have any diagnosed disabilities, etc. You know what I'm saying? So gratitude will definitely keep you going, writing down things, that make you happy and make you feel good. And this is an important key to manifesting the things that you want when you feel good. Manifesting things like when you're angry, especially depending on what you want to manifest. Like, I personally, 9 times out of 10, I'm not gonna be manifesting like a curse or something just because I could transmute that, alchemize that into money and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Now, like manifestation, for example, right now I'm in a brand new apartment. If I wanted to manifest a house, I would manifest it when I feel the best in my brand new apartment. You know what I'm saying? I might even to feel like more of like a sense of luxury, like we have a gym and a pool. I might go to the gym or go to the pool and manifest there because it's a part of my home and it feels like so luxurious. It would help me easily manifest more than what I have. You know what I'm saying? Another thing is getting out of your house to manifest. I know that it's cold, but getting out of your house to manifest is amazing. I like to go on drives because I don't do the cold. The winter is a no, 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 no for me. Uh-oh. No, no. Okay. But I will go for a nice drive, listen to like my favorite music, go to a nice area and just really, vibe out. This will help your thought process. Now, there's a reason why, they have the phrase think outside of the box because your house, our homes are usually very box, squared, cornered homes. So there is no like round or curvedness, flexibility in our house, and that picks up energetically. So it's important to go outside, get fresh air, to reprogram your mind. Another one of the main things that I use is I've talked about this a lot in the beginning on my channel. Fake it till you make it. Like, you're not always going to feel like your best self in life, but there's a difference between not feeling like your best self and not being your best self. You know what I'm saying? Not feeling like your best self, does not involve not taking care of your home, not taking care of yourself, not going out. We will have periods of rest. I like to use a ratio of 70-30. So like 70% of the time I'm positive, 30% of the time I'm negative. Why do you want me to close my door? I can't. Terry, stop touching my light. So yeah, I like to do a ratio where I'm 70% positive and 30% negative. So it just like, and I feel that same way about rest. Like 70% of the time I'm productive, doing something, 30% of the time I'm resting. And that's an important thing to do, especially when like winter comes around, because like the winter blues can kick in. It's pretty cold, there's less sun. So definitely, and people, like a lot of people don't know what to do, like when I say get up and do something either. When you're younger, for young girls, what is the number one thing that we did that made us feel good and we did not even have to leave our house to do? Especially for my girly girls. We got up and got dressed. Us girls would get up and get dressed to go nowhere. Nowhere at all. Okay, how many times did mama be like, where are you going? No, girl, I did my hair and a full face of makeup and put on my best outfit because I could. You know what I'm saying? Because I have that free will. That is a beautiful thing to do. I also get from underneath this massage table. Move. Move right now. Thank you. Come on. So, yes, that is one of the things that's really good. It's also really good for people who are like entrepreneurs. I always suggest people do this like when you might feel like things are getting slow, or even when they're not, you're just supposed to do it. But getting up and getting dressed is something that I like to do because you never know what your day is going to entail. You know what I'm saying? You might get invited out on a date. You might, you might, I don't know, get invited out to eat, or have a client or an opportunity, and it really sucks when you actually have something exciting to do or opportunity and you're stuck in the house for 2 hours getting ready. Poopy, come here. Give mama. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'll trade you for this. Here. Here. Here, look. I got the little peelable mangoes, and they're like so good. Damn, y'all really into the background. I gotta work on my background. So guys, it's so funny because I actually really, really, really love my room. But I got new dressers anyway for Christmas. But besides like my mismatch dressers right now, because we moved from the basement, so these were working at the basement. They do not work anymore. You know what I'm saying? So I do like my room setup, but it's just like there's no place that has like I feel like the background. Like maybe over here, but then like the lighting sucks over there. So I just be kind of like, ugh. But y'all are really into my life. I see. This is not, I just got up in here and said this YouTube channel is not to talk about my life. It's to talk about the knowledge that I have to share. um, yes, and then another thing, while we keep going is, and that will also help you with manifestation, and that I have learned recently. Whoa! Wow, Terry. You just snatched her right up. You okay? Is the power of the tongue. So recently, I have got into not Christianity, but just, reading certain parts of the Bible, picking up on certain things that it says, because again, we don't want, white people to make us think small. We want to have our own thoughts, but some of the things that it's saying is absolutely true. The power of the tongue is a real thing, you know what I'm saying? So, you know because we don't want to take away from the true essence and the true story of what they tried to cover up. And power of the tongue helps with manifestation, because a lot of the times people want to manifest, but we need to stop complaining. You have to stop complaining in order to manifest. Like, for example, recently I was watching a share video, and she literally said, like, oh, when I'm paying for my expenses, or like if I don't want to spend as much, I say, oh, I'm paying off expenses, or I'm saving. A lot of times, like, we are fully paying for our expenses, not lacking in anything, and we'll say things like, I'm broke. Paying off your expenses is a good thing, because then you won't owe anybody and you won't be in debt. You know what I'm saying? So I think that this is something that people can use a lot, because to get where I had to be, I had to pay off a lot of things. And it was a humbling transition for me, because I had money and it didn't show because it was constantly going to expenses. But in the end, it worked out for me because I am not in debt. I'm in a good position. I can spend my money the way that I want. My bills are paid. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, redirect the way that you think about things. Because like literally like now when I might be saving or paying off my expenses, like I just look at it totally differently. Because and it also makes you prioritize your expenses more, because look at it like this. If I pay off like say if you have a old car to pay off, you can say like, well, I'm not going to spend that, I'm going to do minimal spending for the next 4 or 5 months, but when I'm done I will no longer be in debt on this vehicle. And all and this is what I love to do. I look at how much the bill costs or whatever, or how much the expense costs. And then once it's all fully paid off, I say, now look at all of this money that I spent on this expense paying this off. Now I have free will, now that I have took care of my expenses, to do what I want to do and spend my money the way that I want to now. And that's why I said having gratitude and being productive, but also resting is important during these times too. Because like when you are, you know, taking care of responsibilities, when you're able to rest, when you're able to have gratitude, you look at your responsibilities different and they become easy. Responsibilities like bills don't become burdens anymore. They become exciting rewards for you. You know what I'm saying? Because you're like, well, when I pay all my bills, I'm gonna have, for example, $3,000-4,000 left over to do whatever I want with. I have $4,000 to do whatever I want because I paid all my bills. Bills literally becomes a reward after that. They're not a burden. You're not like, oh my God, I'm broke from all my bills. You're gonna say, oh no, I'm sorry, I can't go out right now. I'm paying off my expenses. Then when they ask you to go out, you might say, well, I'm doing something, you know, a little bit more exciting because I paid off all my expenses. You know what I'm saying? Like, so even when it comes to like my daily chores, like I have even changed the way that I thought about cleaning. Because one thing about me is that I love the aesthetics of like the early 2000s and the way things felt. um I also like have a pretty busy home, like in terms of the way that I like to decorate and stuff. So organization and being clean is just like, it just makes me feel so happy and so good. And there's just like nothing like being able to look at my stuff and knowing that it's not like horrible or dirty or tore up because I'm constantly cleaning and taking care of it. Um Now I'm like a lot more excited to clean. I find it very aesthetically pleasing, and you know, especially like, no offense, like you know when you go to someone's house and they don't clean a lot and it's like piles of here and the wall is dirty here and like everything needs to be scrubbed down in sight. Like it's such a good feeling to just have fresh things and be able to take care of it and keep up with it. You know what I mean? What's that in your mouth, young man? Can I see? Give mama. Give mama. Give mama. Uh, yeah, come here. What's that? Give mama. Come here. Can I see? It looks like a candy cane. Is it the candy cane? Did you find it? Come here. Yeah, that's a candy cane. But yes, y'all. So this is like some of my tips and tricks to keep going. Another thing is journaling. So I want to just give you like an example of how dope journaling is, right? You can journal something, especially do things in the dark. Do things at the time of 3 a.m. is like a perfect time to manifest and do your workings, because of the veil and the portals that are open at that time. Great time for creativity, uh, you know, stuff like that. But journaling is so potent that I was journaling one day about uh the way that I wanted to decorate my home. And it's so funny. I did it like literally the night before. Then very next day, I was booked back to back to back, which made it so that I was already able to buy the what one of the pieces of furniture that I wanted. So already just from writing in my journal the night before at night at 3 a.m., my manifestation came through the very next day. You know what I'm saying? You can do this with money. And when you journal, you want to make things like very specific. And that's why when people ask me to like do spells for them and stuff, I don't believe in it because I would have to vividly like see your life in your day to day to be able to do something like that for you, because it has to be descriptive. And when something is descriptive, it also has to make sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't say, "Oh my gosh, I want to be I want to be signed to Diddy." But Diddy's in Hollywood or Diddy's in New York and you're in Florida. That's physically impossible. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's very hard for that to happen. I mean, maybe if you're in Miami, but so yeah, like just realistic manifestations that make sense, that could slowly come to fruition, however you say it. Um, Another thing, and this is why I said gratitude, because gratitude has to do with patience. If you are already thankful for what you have, you won't feel rushed to get more. You won't feel rushed to fulfill your dream. When you have gratitude for what you already have, you already know what more is coming. Terry, get out the trash, please. Terry. Terry, go get a toy right now. Come, mama. Come, mama. No, no, no. Terry. Come here. But yeah, when you have gratitude for what you already have, you don't feel the need to rush into things. Like, for example, me and my friend was just talking about this, patience. When you are so thankful, what are you impatient for? If I'm already, like, this is literally, think about it like this: if I'm already happy with the plate of food in front of me, I'm not rushing for the next plate. I already know I'm at a restaurant and they're going to serve me an appetizer, my entree, and my dessert. So why would I rush my entree if I'm already enjoying my appetizer? You have to look at it like that. You know what I'm saying? And that's how you need to look at your manifestations and stuff. When you believe that, if you know that something is coming, you don't, manifest it from a place of desperation. But also, in order to know that this is coming, you have to know. That's it. You just have to know. And, a lot of times the reasons why our manifestations are not working is because we know exactly why we're not going to get it. You know what I'm saying? Our mind has already decided why we're not going to get what we want. And that's why our manifestation is blocked and not working. It's just like when I told you guys about the book, The Four Agreements. You make these agreements, that is what comes into fruition. Period. Mama, mama, mama. Mama, mama, mama. Mama. So yes, I'm gonna go be a mama. But I appreciate you guys so much for watching. This is Ani's World, and I will see you guys later. Bye bye.